What's up, everybody?
What up?
Hey, if you guys are new, welcome. My name is Lois Villoro with JVO Bullies, representing out of Florida, and we are broadcasting this live stream right now at 3 different locations. So if you're watching, just come in and say hi. Make sure you share this live stream. When you've shared it, send it to your friends, share it in some groups, and make sure you do hashtag shared so we know, or hashtag BWO so that we know you did it. And then you'll be on the wheel tonight, spin wheel, to win something free. So, got my co-host over here, Mr. Lance Lee. Say hi, Lance.
Hey, what's up, guys? Appreciate y'all tuning in.
And then we got our featured guest today, Mr. Jeffrey.
All right,
from Hard Knocks Bully Camp, also out of Florida. Hi, Jenny. Are you guys able to see the comments?
No, yeah, I can't.
I can see it because I've got a computer over here to the side.
All right, you may or may not have a section that says comments. If you do, click on that. It might pull it up. If it doesn't, then you might need a second device. Hi, Tasha. All right, Monroe, I see you got your hashtag BWO. I'm going to go ahead and put you on the wheel for our giveaways. Y'all go ahead and get this shared out. We got a bunch of questions we're going to ask Jeffrey. We're going to put him in the hot seat today. Hi, Jenna. All right, so
I'm on the hot seat. That's fine.
So yeah, you guys share this out to your friends, send it into some groups. Let's get some people in here. Let's see. Got Tasha and Andrea. All right, so Lance, I'm going to send you over these questions too, just in case I'm taking names and I can't ask a question. Let's see. We're going to go down this list. Do you have a second device, Lance?
Yeah, I do. But I'm looking at it. On this, so it ain't no big deal.
Okay, we got it. All right. So we are going to go ahead and ask some questions here. So Jeffrey, the first question I think all of us get asked is, what got you into bullies in the first place?
Well, you know, a lot of people know I started off with game dogs. Unfortunately, I don't really like talking about a whole lot, but a lot of us that are in bullies did. And hog dogs. And I did that for a while, all throughout my teenage years. And I didn't have a dog for like 10 years. And my kids got older and they started asking about dogs. So I told them I'd get them one. And one of my buddies around here, he was like the only one that was really breeding bullies. His name was Kenny Sims. He had a couple. And I really, really liked what his bullies looked like. But they weren't really show quality bullies. They were just bullies. So I started looking for some, and I saw Venom. And Venom's really the first real American bully that I saw. He was the dog that got me wanting an American bully, if I'm being honest. I always wanted a stud credit or something off of him, and wasn't able to really get one because Venom's expensive. But ended up, I do have a King Cooper credit now, so I will end up having a piece of Venom on my yard anyways. But that's really what got me into bullies is my kids wanted a dog, and I wanted to go kind of back to the pit bulls, but I didn't really want to be in that direction. I wanted something a little bit more of a companion dog, which, you know, pit bulls are companion dogs, but I wanted something a little bit bigger. I wanted something bigger and, you know what I mean, nice looking. So I started going the bully way, and I got with Angelina, and, you know, the rest is history.
So what got you into, like, what did you start first? Did you start breeding or did you start showing first?
So I did a couple breedings with Atlas before I ever went to a show. Well, no, I take that back. I went to a show with him at 6 months in North Carolina. That was my first show ever. It was, I'm pretty sure it was James Cooper's show. And, you know, we just walked around, really. We didn't really show. I showed, I think, one time. I didn't know what I was doing. I looked like a fool out there. So, yeah, I think James Cooper's show was my first one, but I really was breeding with Atlas more before I really started getting in the show circuit.
And then So what really got you what got you into breeding? Like what made you be like, I want to breed this dog?
Well, to be honest, I wanted to produce, like we all, I wanted to produce my own dog. I wanted to produce something that came off of my stud, off of my yard. I wanted to get a better version of my dog, and so so I just started looking for bitches that I thought would compliment him, and he would compliment them, and uh, there was some rocky ones at first because I didn't have a clue really what I was doing. I jumped into breeding before I should have. I should have done a little bit more research on the bloods that I was breeding to, because my first couple breedings that I did with Atlas probably weren't the best. But then I started really talking to people and realizing what I should be going for, and that's when I started limiting my breedings with Atlas a little bit, instead of just taking on whatever bitch there was, thinking that Atlas was going to be a magician. I
Yeah.
think that's a lot of people get confused. They see a nice stud, they think that he's going to clean up anything, and that's just not the case. There's no stud in the world that's just going to clean up anything. So,
how'd you get into the showing though? Like did you know somebody that was showing?
So Angelina Zenyaga, she was the one who produced Atlas, and she had champion Foxy Brown, and she had bred her to Lucky Luciano and just got Mayhem, which is now a grand champion. And she wanted Atlas shown. So that's kind of what got me more into wanting to show. But I would have to say what really just got me going is wanting to see better dogs. I wanted to see the dogs in person that I was seeing on Facebook. It was Angelina wanted her dog that she produced shown, but the more I seen dogs on Facebook, I wanted to go see them in person, because right when I first started showing and getting into this, I feel like Photoshop was just making its scene really big, and so many dogs weren't what they were in person that they were on Facebook, and that really made me even want to go to the shows more to find out what I was looking at.
Yeah, you get surprised sometimes still.
What's that?
Do you still get surprised whenever you get there and meet a dog?
Oh my God. Absolutely. I won't say every show, but there has been some really, really big name studs out there, and I'm not going to say them on this live. I mean, if y'all want me to, I will, because I don't care, but I won't.
No,
They're not what they say they are, and if you don't go to these shows, or if you don't go to their house, or if you don't, if you don't meet up somewhere and see these dogs in person, I'll never spend big money on a stud until I see that mug.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
even your best friend will fool you for that almighty dollar.
So you think, like when you first got into it, you were, kind of just shooting from the hip, and after going to some shows, kind of opened your eyes up about breeding and everything, made you kind of want to do better.
100%. Until you go to the shows and start seeing what's really being called for, what's really winning in the ring, and what's really, what the judges want to see. I don't really. You can't be you can't tell people what you really want until you go and you see the dogs in person and see what you really want. Because there's been dogs I've had stud feeds locked in, and then go to these shows and see a better dog and change my mind right there and be like, nope, not using that dog, because this dog will do better for my dog, So absolutely, I still see dogs that blow my mind, and I still think that if I wouldn't have never went to the shows to begin with, I wouldn't have the perception that I have on breeding now.
Yeah. So it's pretty. I always recommend people go to the shows too. That's important. I feel like it's important, especially if you do plan to breed.
Yeah, even if you're just going to spectate, you ain't got to show. Just go look at these dogs in person. You know what I mean? But once you do start showing, you won't want to quit. I promise you.
I know that's right. So do you think you show when you first started showing and really started going? Did you show for competition? Did you show for like I want to like compete, or did you show for I want to get more knowledge? I want to.
When I
This is
first
something
started,
that I really.
when I first started showing, man, I tell you, for a year and a half, I was just there to be there. I just wanted to soak in as much as I could and get ring time. Um, I wanted them. I wanted the judges and the other competition to see I'm not going anywhere. This is where I'm going to be at. You're going to see me. Um, and for a year and a half, I didn't even place, not even a third. Man, I went to these shows for a year and a half and never placed because I was doing it wrong. Uh, I was stacking them dogs and looking like an idiot out there. And Kayla Watkins and Jew Ammons are the ones that pulled me to the side one time at a show and was like, "Can I give you some pointers without you thinking I'm telling you don't know what you're doing?" And I was like, "No, please, because I don't fucking know what I'm doing." So they showed me a couple things and showed me a couple tricks, and then I've learned a couple things here and there my own way and soaked in knowledge from other people. You know what I mean? Like I'll tell you one of the people that's been most influential on my handling, and he may not even know it, and that was old Stanford Newell. That man right there. Seemed like every time I was in the ring, he was in the ring, and he helped me a lot. He helped me a lot, a lot. And if it wasn't for Stanford, I probably wouldn't know some of the stuff that I know now. So anytime
Dan,
you
Dan's
yeah,
top notch, bro.
yeah, and that's another thing. He taught me a lot about carrying myself a little bit more professional and also how to turn down some dogs. You know what I mean? You don't got to handle every dog that somebody wants you to. Sometimes whenever you get to like if you're a new handler and you want to just get out there and kind of get the feel of it, then that's fine. But when you kind of get to that next tier, you almost have to just turn down dogs, man, because if you don't think they're show quality, why would you bring it in the ring? Or if it doesn't fit the standard, why would you want to bring it in the ring and put it on your end of your lead? Because that represents you as well. You're the one in there with it. So he taught me, you know what I mean, a lot about just, hey man, some dogs you can say no to.
I think it's really important to Stanford's actually here. Uh, I think it's really important that people that are doing it and are winning are actually mentoring other people, just like you said, because everybody's there for a reason, and you might have a really good looking dog, and if you're not representing that dog right, you can't really see the potential the dog has. And so
Absolutely.
we're all there for the same reason. These breeding programs are set in place to better the breed. And so if people are just there just to chase the titles and not be there for the community as a whole, that really sets yourself as apart as just being selfish and not, you're not really there for the right reasons. So that was pretty cool for Stanford doing that. It's pretty awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
and to be, as decorated as he is, to have, what, 2021, one top oldie, number one oldie in the ABKC, and then, I mean, like you said, I mean, it seemed like every time you went in the ring, that son of a bitch was in there in every class. So to me, Dan's top notch, man.
Well, and you too, man. Like it seemed like you know what I mean. Long before I was BWO, man, me and you were real close, and we gained that in the ring. And that's like she said. If it wasn't for people like you and Stanford, and Kayla helped me, and if it wasn't for people like that, the future of our breed and stuff would just diminish because if we're not going to help people do it the right way now, then it's just not going to be worth watching later.
Right, right.
And
So
people,
here's a
go
good
ahead.
question about the ring. Like, so what is the one standout moment that you can remember? It could be funny, it could be emotional. Like, what is your favorite moment in the ring?
Could be your best win. It could be your whatever.
Uh,
Like what moment in the ring were you like, oh yeah, this is the shit. Like I worked for this and I just got it.
I would have to say Champing Out Atlas. I
That's
would
what
have
I.
to say, what I mean, Champing Out Atlas. He wasn't my first dog that I champed out. I had champed out a few before him. But I kept Atlas out the show ring until he was 3 years old. A lot of y'all know he don't like being in the show. He just doesn't. I can take him anywhere in the world and he's fine. He'll lick you to death. But if I take him to a show, he just doesn't like it. So I wasn't for sure if I was going to be able to show him or not. But over the years, I was showing my handling skills progressed, and I felt more confident with him at the end of my lead in that ring. And people kept on asking me and asking me and asking me to bring him out, and I brought him out to when was it, Virginia? It's the first show. Dana Durant's show in Virginia. It wasn't Dana's. Who was it?
No, it was Rolando. It was Rolando.
Either way,
It was Rolando's in Virginia
yeah. Well, we
in the
took him.
little team building.
Yeah, and he did great. He took a best in breed. So I was kind of like, well, dang, now I got to finish you out. You know what I mean? And I went to 2 more shows with him, and he champed out, and that was probably I've champed out dogs, I've grand champ dogs, I've got a best in show, I've done different things, but champing out Atlas, man, that was he's my best friend. So that was a very, very special moment to me. I've had lots of special moments, but that one will stand out forever.
So who is your all-time favorite dog to handle and why?
Oh shit!
Oh Lord!
You gonna make me upset somebody? God dang!
I plead the fifth.
I have 2. I have a male and a female because I can't pick a favorite between the 2. Crunchy, Grand Champion Bull Sharking, is my favorite male that I've ever had at the end of my lead. He's a very special dog. And just to clarify, I didn't handle him to his Grand Champion status in the ABKC. I'm not the one who did that. I'm just his handler now. But he is an amazing dog to have at the end of your lead. And anybody that's ever had him at the end of their lead will understand where I'm coming from. He's a sweet dog. He's easy to work with. He floats on the air. And me and him just grew up on that dog. When he comes to the house, he's my buddy. And as far as female wise, Grand Champion Jupiter, owned by Jennifer Church, would have to be my favorite. And she's probably my favorite dog, if I'm being honest, even over Crunchy. She's my favorite dog.
Beautiful dog.
Just grew a bond over these last couple more 6 months we've been showing. Champed her out in the ABKC. She's 1 champion win away from her grand champion status there. We grand champed her out in the BRC. She's not I don't know. She's just my favorite dog to handle. She's very, very sweet and easy to do it. And like I said, we grew a bond that I haven't grown with a lot of other dogs.
Nice.
And then, so what exactly do you do for a living? It seems like you've got your hands in all kinds of. Oh, Taylor's here, by the way.
What?
Taylor's here. She says, "Aw, Crunchy says thank you, Uncle Jeffrey."
Oh yeah, I love my Crunchy much. I'm a Chippendales dancer over here at the They pay me to keep my clothes on over there.
Trying to hit these shows, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, gotta get this money. But no,
off the podcast early tonight. Okay.
We just watched that mug go from 20 to 3. I'm an electrician for a company called Back Electric, and I'm also on my own little tree company called Tough Cuts Tree Service. I've been doing tree work for about 6 years now, and I dabbled in electricity a long time ago, and just seemed like the right thing to jump back into, man. So yeah, I wire houses full time throughout the week, and I have my own little tree company on the side that I do just here and there.
Nice.
And Jeffrey also does banners, banners. You do banners.
Yeah, I do. I do banner work. I'm trying to get a little bit better with the new program that I'm doing, so I can start doing logos. But right now, I do pretty decent banner work. I have a pretty quick turnaround time. I've figured out a pretty good process with what I do, and it works for me. So
you guys know who to hit up if you need a banner. Just hit up Jeffrey, and he can get you done usually same day.
Yeah.
I've seen some of his work.
A couple hours.
Good.
Emmy, for instance, one of our one of our people, Emmy, needed a banner done pretty quick, and I was able to get it done literally on my lunch break. So as long as you send me good pictures and all the info you want, and you ain't got to wait for everything after you send me one piece of information, I get it done quick.
So what are some of your accomplishments with your program?
Let's see. Camping out Atlas, that was a big thing for me. I've only got 2 breedings under. I definitely don't consider myself a breeding program, honestly. I've only got 2 breedings under my belt. We're not a big, breeder place over here. We're more into the shows. I don't know if y'all can see. That's just a little portion of what. And to be honest with you, that's the one right there that did most of it. So I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I handle a lot of other people's dogs. I don't really do a lot for my own camp right now. I don't have a lot of dogs right now that I have Karen, and Karen's too short to show in the ABKC. She's stiff stifled anyways. And I have her mom, which is pretty close to being a champion in the BRC, and she's pointed and majored in the ABKC, but I just never really showed her a whole lot. And now recently I've taken her out and started showing her, and she started kicking ass. But lo and behold, she's in heat. So I'm fixing to breed her. I do have that. We're fixing to breed her hopefully to our dog champion Jackal. And so that's going to be a collaboration between me and my wife. She has her own kennel. So yeah, I mean, most of my accomplishments are for other people. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Yep. So you got litter coming up soon. Y'all keep an eye out for that.
Do you like, honest opinion, like showing other people's dogs and stuff? I mean, compared to your own success, where does it sit, like with your clients? Like,
man, you want me to tell you honestly, man? And a lot of people think I'm weird for this, but it honestly feels better doing it for other people because certain people that I've shown for in the past can't show their dogs. They can't. They're just physically not able. But their dogs deserve to be shown, and they want them to be shown. And the look on other people's face, and the joy and excitement, and how happy they are whenever their dog does well in the ring, win or lose. Whenever their dog does well, I mean, a lot of people think I'm just this big old asshole, but that stuff right there, that hits me in my old feelers right there. You know what I mean? So,
well, I don't know if you'd be a big asshole, maybe a little asshole, but
you ain't never seen my butthole.
So, why exactly did you join the BWO? What was your vision? I know you hung out with Lance a little bit and stuff. So
I've wanted to be a part of BWO for a lot longer than some people have been in BWO. I've always wanted. I've seen the camaraderie and the feel of family that they had. Win or lose, you know what I mean? They were, even if they got beat in the ring, they were, cheering other people on, and they could get beat by that person. And then instead of walk back to their table and do their own thing, literally stand at the side of the ring and cheer the person on that just beat them. It was just a different feel. And there's a couple groups out there that are in the midst of the bully world, but on the BWO just felt different. It just felt different. So that's what really made me want to join. But my mouth kept me out of it for a long time. It really did. And I know that. And I'm okay with that. So it's just a different group. It's a different feel. And even through the trials and tribulations, you know what I mean? We push on and we get through it. Yeah, so we don't let stuff keep us down. We don't let stuff get to us, really. You know what I mean? It's just a great group to be a part of, and I feel like it's not going to do nothing but get better and better and better and better as we progress and keep adding better and better and better people. Or if we don't ever add another person to our group ever, I mean, we're going to be solid as a rock. So.
Yeah, so it sounds like we're going to have a lot of BWO out at this next show. and the BRC show out in Troy, Alabama. So
Yeah,
sounds like there's gonna be a whole lot of us there. So that's gonna be exciting.
there's gonna be a whole lot of black and white shit going on.
That's right.
So what are some shows you plan on hitting this year?
Tell Jameson he's an idiot for that comment that he just put. What you ask again?
His ass off the damn podcast, man.
Yeah, somebody needs to take his crayons and his phone away from him.
Don't you have 20 puppies over there to take care of, mother?
Yeah. What was the question you asked?
So, what shows do you have planned? What shows do you actually have planned for this year that you're going to be?
Shit, without looking at my schedule, I don't really know. I know for a fact we're going to Troy. I know that we're going to the ABKC show in August that Earl and Perlina are throwing. We plan on going to Shreveport, Louisiana for Christina's show.
UKC Paris.
Yeah, we're going to try to go to our first UKC show in Perry, Georgia. She has a couple of shows that I'm going to go to and check out because AKC is something I might venture into myself. But I know we're going to BRC Nationals for 100% fact. We already got our booth locked in. We'll probably end up going to the Kissimmee show. That's still up in the air. Just about any BRC show within a 10-hour drive from Jacksonville, Florida, we're going to be at. My wife has the #1 French Bulldog in the country right now for BRC. She's like, not boasting, but they're like 250 points ahead of the #2 spot. So that's something that even whenever I'm not showing, I'm going to be there cheering them on. So we definitely.
Does it worry you about losing that spot if she goes in the heat? Like, or is that why? Are you guys like really pushing to make sure when she goes in the heat, you got a good?
Well, that's the main reason why. Because obviously we could have missed a couple of them shows and been okay. Because there's a lot of people out there that drive, but there's not a lot of people out there that drive like we do. We're pretty dedicated to what we do, man. We drive 16 hours straight, show for 10 hours, and drive 16 hours straight back home. But we pushed just for that reason, because she's not far from coming in the heat, and when we do take them a month or two off, we kind of don't want to give anybody the chance at all to catch up. So we're greedy. We're very greedy.
No, you
That's smart though.
But
so, what are your best tips on handling? Whether it's training outside the ring or being in the ring.
Hire me.
Hire you?
The best thing that I can tell somebody that wants to start handling is gain a bond with the dog first. If you don't have a bond with that dog, you've already lost the battle. That's just period. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the best handler in the world. If that dog don't like you, he ain't gonna show for you. Other than that, you've got to learn the dog also, which goes hand in hand with gaining that bond, because some dogs are different. Some dogs you can go in there and manhandle and do whatever you want to do to them, and they'll just deal with it. Some dogs you got to have a more delicate approach with them. Otherwise, you'll lose them from the very get-go. There's just so many. Learning the dog. Taking a moment. If it's a new dog you're handling for somebody that you just met at the show, take 20, 30 minutes before show one, take it outside, do what you need to do with that dog so that y'all can both learn each other. And then really don't worry about who else is in the ring with you. That's one of the main things that used to mess me up whenever I was first starting, is I would look around and see mugs like Lance and Stanford and old Logan and Paulina and Hannah, and I'd get nervous as shit. And your dog will pick up on that. So I just go into tunnel vision. I whenever that judge starts evaluating dogs, I worry about me and my dog. The only people I look at is the judge. So I think that would help a lot of people if they would just get out of their own head.
So do you have any tips on breeding? I know you said you don't consider yourself a breeder. You've had some litters, but some factors that you consider.
I tell you, my advice to somebody who's never bred before: don't. There's enough breeders. There's enough of us, and there's enough breeders. I won't say us because I'm not a breeder. I don't consider myself. Just don't. The breed is already watered down as it is. There's already too many of them out there. And the problem with that is there's too many people not doing it the right way and not health testing and not really researching blood. So if you're going to breed, research the bloods that you're working with or that you want to use. Don't just put two dogs together that look good because just because this dog is great and this dog is great don't mean that you're going to have puppies that are great. So just research the bloods. Most of the time, somebody else has already done the breedings that you're fixing to put together. So ask questions. Get on Facebook and ask to see what their outcome was with certain bloods. Check a phenotype and a genotype. See if both of them are there. If both of them are not there, don't do it. And my main thing is, if you're not willing, if you wouldn't be happy with your puppies looking like the mother that you're breeding to, or then don't breed. Because if you're not happy with what your female looks like, you're probably not going to be happy with some of the puppies that come out in that litter.
Yeah.
People think that they buy this $10,000 stud credit to Joe Blow, grand champion Joe Blow, and then they have this little old scrawny ass lacking dog, and they think that that dog that they just paid that $10,000 stud credit for is going to just be a magician, and it's not going to happen. You might get a fluke every now and then, but who's happy with one good dog out of a litter of 7?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're not breeding for consistency, then you're doing it the wrong way.
That's true. That's very true. So, so what factors go into the shows that you choose to go to? Like what
The only
makes you
factor that goes into the shows that we go to is time. I don't give a shit who's there. I don't care what dogs are going to be there. I don't. I mean, obviously, if it's great that if people that I love are there, you know what I mean. But I don't really care. I don't get psyched out by other people and shit. Now there are some shows that there's never just so many judges there that I don't like where I won't go to a show. But there's usually shows where there's a judge there that I won't show under. Everybody's got that one judge or how many other judges that they won't show under for whatever reason it is. But there's never enough of them to keep people going. What?
How do you handle that situation?
If I'm showing for somebody else, another client, that's why, I try to get on the show event page and see who the judges are weeks in advance. You know what I mean? That way I can kind of tell the people I handle for, hey, look, I'm not going to show under that judge. I mean, because I'm going to tell you, I won't say the name, but there's one particular judge out there that there just ain't no point me getting in the ring with because he ain't going to place me. It ain't going to happen. So I have to tell my clients that, hey, look, there's just no point in wasting your money on this particular show. Not this event, but this show. And that's how I handle it. I just don't.
So, and you mentioned earlier that you really looked up to like Lance and Stanford. So what other people were like a huge impact on your whole bully venture? Who were your mentors?
I tell you, one of the main people, without sounding too cliche, that really helped push me to keep going a lot of times, because there's been a couple of times where I just didn't want to do it anymore. My spirit was broke. But my wife is one person that really, really helped keep me going in the right direction. And when I wanted to get on here and burn the world down, she's the one that kept me at bay. But some other people besides her, like before, she kind of came into the picture. Angelina played a big part for a good couple years. Stanford, Lance, we've bounced ideas off each other's heads a lot. Yeah, Fam. A lot of y'all, matter of fact, if you don't know Fam, you ain't if you don't know who Fam is, you're doing it wrong. But Fam has helped me a lot for sure. That's for sure. Alex Farrar, whenever I first started this, he gave me a lot of good tips and pointers and stuff on handling and stuff like that. Rolando Mata, he's helped me a lot in that ring. He's helped give me a lot of good pointers and a lot of good advice. You know what I mean? Not even just about handling, but just dealing with how can I word this on a podcast? Dealing with show bullshit. You know what I mean? And how to keep that at bay and just so.
Let it roll off the back.
Yeah. Those are some people that really, and then just coming and being with certain people at the shows make it so much better and make it worth coming. Huh? Yeah, and then the more you go to shows and the more you meet new people and you gain new experiences and you gain new friendships. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people look at dog or people that they show for as clients. I don't really like that word a whole lot, honestly, because it makes you feel like I don't know they're not there's nothing special there, and I have a pretty good connection and a pretty good relationship with everybody that we show for, and those people also are a lot of the main people that help keep me going. Is the people we show for Jennifer Church, Jenny Honeycutt, Talia and Will Lee. Derek Cheney. There's a lot of people out there that just really make it worth going to. Man, there's too many people to name that have an impact that make me want to keep going. Because honestly, I don't have a dog here at my house to show. Me personally, you know what I mean? Me and my wife separated our kennels. So there's dogs in this house that are amazing that I'm
Number
not talking
one,
about. Huh? Yeah, she
number
took all the good
one.
dogs. She took all the good dogs with her. She was like, screw you. But no.
That's what most divorces happen, Jeffrey. It'll be all right.
So, I just love showing dogs, man. I do. I love being in the ring. I don't really have a whole lot of things in my life that I enjoy doing. Honestly, I'm a homebody, boring son of a gun. But being in that ring, I just that's my peace. That's where I go to get away from all the bull crap throughout the week. So, but I don't really have a dog here to show. Sugar is about it. Karen, I could show just to be in the ring with her, but I'm not kennel blind. I know she's got her own flaws. If she won, it would be here and there. It's not worth going. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bring her to show people because a lot of people want to see her in person. A lot of people love Karen. She's a little short, muscle bound, swolled up little midget, but she's not show quality.
Yeah. So Jameson says he's got a waffle son for you.
I done told Jameson to send that waffle son up here.
So I got one more question, and then we're gonna turn the questions over to the audience. So I've got y'all get them ready. Y'all go ahead and start typing them in so I can go through and start pulling them after this question. So, what is the process that you use to get your dogs ready for show day?
Well, man, it's not really a process that we do right before the show. We just keep our dogs ready. You know the old saying: if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. We try every day to get our dogs out there and work with them at least 2 times a day for 15 to 20-minute sessions. Does that happen every day? No, it doesn't. Anybody who tells you they go outside with their dog every day and works and they have a bunch of dogs like we do, they're liars. But that's what we do. We try to get out there as much as we can every day. You know what I mean? And yeah, and like you can have a perfectly trained dog that's a grand champion, and if you let him sit on that couch for too long, he's gonna get rusty, and you have to start basically all over. I've seen it happen before. Perfect case in mind, grand champion bull sharking. He was owned by somebody else. I don't even remember who owned him, but he sat on the couch after he did what he was done in the ABKC, and then Talia and Will bought him, and they wanted to show him in the BRC and in the ABKC, and it was kind of like having to retrain him again. He just got used to sitting his lazy butt up there on that couch. So that's where me and him gained our bond. Was he came to the house for training, and it was he was an easy dog to train because he was already trained, if that makes sense. Like Kayla and Jude had already did an amazing job training him. So all I did was basically knock the dust off and kick that brain back into gear. Like, hey, when this lead's on, it's time to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, God almighty, she's over here feeding my dog stuff that's gonna make them act like crackheads for the rest of the night.
It's because I gave him a treat. They're in treat mode now.
But yeah, I done
Hey,
lost
you
track.
guys,
What's
don't
up?
forget to share this live out, you guys. Everybody that's on here, share this live out. When you've shared it, do hashtag BWO so I know to put you on this wheel, because we're going to be doing drawing after we're done with our interview here with Jeffrey. And we don't have too much longer to go. So we're going to pull some questions. Jenny Honeycutt wants to know, who is the goofiest or funniest dog you've ever handled?
Oh, see, she already knew that damn answer. That's why she asked. Her dog. No. Let's see. Her dog's up there. It might be number one, but I'm not really his handler. Jenna's his handler. I just kind of put my hands on him while he's here. Let's see. The goofiest or funniest dog I've ever handled. I would have to say, and if you're watching Bubba, which you're probably not, don't get upset. That's a dog named Grand Champion Domo. Grand Champion Domo, that's a good name for him. He's a goober, that's for sure. He was we handled him a couple times, and he did good, and he's a good looking dog. But my God, he's a goober. But yeah, Crew, her dog, her ex Crew, he's another one. Very, very funny dog, man. He's good. Yeah, got a great temperament. He's well trained. Hell, he does commercials and stuff. You know what I mean? He's a very well trained dog, but he's a goober.
Lori Lee wants to know what you feed your dogs.
Little people. Fluffies. No. We feed Purina Pro Plan small bites to our bullies, and to our Frenchies we feed Science Diet, sensitive skin and stomach.
So is there a reason why you do different food for the different breeds?
Yeah, well, the Frenchies, they tend to have, they're more prone to skin allergies and stuff like that. And Siri has tear stains. Yeah, it's another thing. Frenchies are really big on tear stains, especially Siri because she's a cream. And Science Diet, the specific food that we do feed them that Science Diet makes help with the tear stains and stuff like that. And Purina Pro Plan, as far as when I feed that to my dogs, the bullies, I just had good results with it. Everybody, you see people all the time ask on Facebook or bash this food and then bash that food. It's all what works for your dogs. Certain food's going to work for you, but it may not work for me. You know what I mean? So you got to find what your dog likes and also what's good for your dog, because just because it's good for your dog doesn't mean your dog's going to like it. So yeah, that's another thing. We have a lot of probiotics and toppers and supplements that we put on there. We use SureGrow. We have Dine just in case some of our dogs need a little bit extra. But the main weight gain supplement that we use if we need a little bit extra is just satin balls. We make our own satin balls naturally, and that's what works the best. Dine, if you use too much of it for a long period of time, you could cause kidney failure and stuff like that. Satin balls, man, I mean, basically the only thing you can do bad with satin balls is make it fat.
I was going to ask you about the Dine too. I'm glad you brought that up, because I've heard so many bad things about using Dine, and I see so many people using it. It's just like you see a lot of people that are like, I go on live videos and I'll watch them. They're feeding their dogs, and it's like I want to say something, but at the same time, like I don't want to overstep my boundaries. Be like, you're going to mess up your dog so bad. Stop feeding that to them every day. Like,
yeah, that's why I'm an asshole on Facebook, because I'm the person that says something. I'm the person I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? So with Dine, like I said, you should be using Dine only when needed. You can use it every day, but you got to know you got to use it properly. You got to use it sparingly. Like it says on there, for dogs 50 pounds and plus, I'm pretty sure that it's 5 tablespoons. That's literally only a couple swirls around the top of your food. But you see people and they're like squirting it on there. Yeah, and they'll do it twice a day. If you're feeding Dine to your dogs, you don't need to be feeding them twice a day. First of all, I mean, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Dine should only be used if you know what you're doing. I've been using Dine for 16 years now, and I've never had a bad experience with it, not one time.
It's mainly for like when your dog's underweight or has been sick and needs to gain appetite.
If you have working dogs like I used to back in the day, you know what I mean? It's kind of different. You can kind of be a little bit more sparingly with it, or a little bit more. But if you just have couch dogs like most people do with these bullies, you don't need to be using a whole lot of Dime. I mean, you don't see it. That's the problem, is you don't see the issues that you're causing until it's too late.
Yeah.
Once you see the issue, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
At least from my experiences from other people and stuff. Once they realized what they were doing, it was too late.
Yeah. Tasha says, have you ever trained someone else's dog? Kind of talked about that a little bit.
I've trained quite a few people's dogs. Quite a few people's dogs I've had over here for training. I tell you, as far as the training goes, a lot of people, they do 1 month. Training's not cheap. I'm going to be very honest with y'all. You know, I'll tell you right now on here what I charge. I charge $1,000 a month to train, and so it's not cheap. But so a lot of people, with that being said, they only do 1 month of training, and well, you know, we're all 3 dog handlers on here, and a lot of people here are dog handlers. If you have a dog that has no experience whatsoever, 1 month is not enough.
Not enough.
It ain't
Especially
enough.
if you start from scratch. Oh, goodness.
If you have dogs like Crunchy and stuff like that are already seasoned vets and they already know what they're doing, you know, then fine. A little 1 month, you know what I mean? That's the reset. That's it's okay. But 1 month for a dog, yeah, and that price lot may also be different too. Like, so we kind of do things differently. If a dog isn't going to be as hard to train and isn't just starting from scratch, we kind of try to help them out a little bit. We're not so steep on that $1,000. But if the dog just doesn't have no training whatsoever and acts like an idiot while he's here, you're gonna pay $1,000. You know what I mean? It's not just training. You know what I mean? It's literally dealing with that. You know what I mean? Because training is an hour a day tops, but that other 23 hours they're here, you know what I mean? We're still taking care of them, still dealing with them if they're crazy. You know what I mean? So the $1,000 doesn't just go for the training. That goes for all around dealing with the dog, because it's usually not just show training you have to do. You have to do obedience training, show training.
Yeah, feed them.
So most people don't have the money nowadays just to be like, hey, here's 3 months worth of training. I need my dog ready.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that we run into. You know, people will send their dog over here for training and then expect miracles. And it's like, well, it's not going to happen. It's just not.
So would you ever take on a dog that's never been potty trained?
I'm fixing to. I have before. I don't like it, and we don't budge on the price at all with dogs under 6 months. Dogs under 6 months are guaranteed $1,000. I give a shit, because we're basically taking care of your dog and training it all the way, house, potty, crate, everything. So, you know, I'm fixing to start training Talia and Will's dog. They got a badass little boy named Reaper. I've been anticipating getting him over here since the day they got him. But matter of fact, if y'all are watching, y'all better have his ass potty trained. I don't want to be dealing with that.
Tasha says, what's your opinion on a classic?
Oh, I was waiting on that question. The classic is my favorite class in the American Bully. And a lot of people are, I'm finna ruffle some feathers here. A lot of people are misconstrued on what the classic is supposed to look like nowadays. And most people that think they have a classic have a dog that lacks mass and pretty tight. the classic of 5, 10 years ago is not the classic today.
Right.
Nowadays, and they may have not changed the standard per the written standard yet. Like there may not be literature on the standard change, but if you go to these shows and you have been going to them for the past 2 years, you have watched the change in standard because even Atlas is a forgotten classic. That's what I call dogs, like Atlas, a forgotten classic. Because 2 years ago when I camped him out, he was, I mean, and Atlas was this wide. I mean, he's got good, broad, big shoulders, a nice chest, a good, big ass head. He would be small. He would consider to be lacking mass to go into a classic class. And so, I've been actually battling on Facebook for the past 3 days. Now, some of y'all may have been seeing it. I don't hold no bars on that because people spread misinformation. And then, like, people will post their dogs and they look skinny and narrow chested and really snipey heads. And they're like, look at my classic. That's not a classic, buddy. He just is a dog that lacks breed type and mass. Classics now in the ring are 80, 90 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, 5 years ago, you could walk in there with a 60-pound dog, 70-pound dog, and take them. It's just not the same anymore. They want bigger. They want it bigger across the board. Yesterday's standard is today's classic, and yesterday's extreme is today's standard.
Yep.
And until people realize that, they're going to keep on losing and get left behind in the crate.
I definitely see that too. I definitely see that going to these shows. And honestly, it is basically across the board. UKC isn't like that though. It's hit or miss with the judges. I've noticed that. Some of the judges like a bully. Some of them like a more terrier like bully because they're used to seeing pits or AMSAF. So
I can't speak on the UKC from personal experience because we haven't ventured out there yet. But I've heard everybody say that UKC is still,
they're working on it. You do have some bully judges there. I've met a few that have actually, pulled me or when we were in the ring, just be able to see the reason I chose this dog is because this is what a bully should look like. It makes me feel bad in the ring when they do that, but it also makes you feel good, like, oh, I got a good looking dog,
Yeah.
But yeah, they still they're not all on the same page on that. But all the other registrations seem like they're
across the board. You can talk to judges, and the judges themselves will tell you. There was a mass email that was sent out, and I don't know how it worked in BRC, but I was told in the ABKC there was a mass email sent out. Pick the dog with bigger mass. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not saying they were told to pick train wrecks. I'm not going to say that, but they were told to pick dogs with bigger mass. You know what I mean? So if you have a dog that has really good breed type and mass with okay structure, but then you have a dog that has no mass and great structure, they're going to pick the dog that has more mass. It's just going to happen. And, people can get upset about it. I was one of them that got upset about it a year ago whenever they first started this crap. It's going to happen. So all you can do is either go with the flow or you're going to get left behind. And it's not impossible to breed mass and structure. So, it can happen. You just got to know what you're working with is the main thing. You got to know what you have at your house. If you don't have nothing at your house that's going to produce that, start over. There's nothing wrong with starting over. I'm doing it right now. What I have in my house, if I do produce show quality from the next litter, then that's great. That's fantastic. But I know that may not happen. So I'm basically in the search for a new bitch right now to start my breeding program per se, because I know what I have and do what I need to do. So there's nothing wrong with starting over once you realize what you got ain't going to be it.
Tasha says, what do you recommend for tear stains for a bully?
You have to ask my wife that. I'm not. None of my bullies have tear stains. I'll be honest with you right now. None of my bullies have tear stains, so I've never had that issue.
Hey, Zach Bartlett asked a good question. What's your most defining feature on a? There you go. What's your most defining feature on a bully?
The head. The head, man. For me, my biggest thing on a bully is the stop. If they don't have that 90-degree stop and that broad head, that's what really at the end of the day makes a bully separate from a lot of the breeds that were bred into it to create it is the head. You can see some of them, they got that slope to it. And that there's grand champions that have the slope. I'm not knocking them dogs, but to me, the most definitive feature on a dog when you look at the silhouette of American Bully is the big broad head with the wide cheeks and that 90-degree stop that goes down their muzzle. That to me, if a dog has that, that's beautiful. Atlas has one of the greatest heads I've ever seen. Dogs like Riot Luciano, J2, Zero, Blue. Those are the type of heads I like seeing myself. I like seeing big, broad, wide heads with a nice 90-degree stop.
Okay, let's go. What's your favorite supplement to use daily for your bullies?
I would probably have to say SureGrow is the most important thing that we use. And we're fixing to start using PhytoFlex. I've heard amazing things about PhytoFlex, but like us, we have all hardwood floors, every bit of them. And if you live in a house with all hardwood floors, you've got to be using some type of supplement that's strengthening them pasterns and their joints and stuff. Yeah. So it's that to me is the most important thing that I use because they are inside most of the time. We don't have a lot of carpet, or we don't have any carpet. We don't have a lot of rugs out, so they're sliding and stuff. So keeping their joints and pasterns straight and strengthened is very important where I'm at. But coconut oil and stuff like that is other really good stuff to do for their skin and coats, and that probably helps with tear stains as well, I would imagine. Yeah, we use prebiotics and probiotics, but for the bullies, the most important thing to me is definitely the SureGrow PhytoFlex.
Who's your favorite standard at this time?
Grand Champion Hangman.
Who?
Grand Champion Hangman. And I mean, it's a real close run between Grand Champion Hangman and Grand Champion Malacara. I think those two, and Vito, Grand Champion Vito. Those are my top three American bullies out right now: Malacara, Vito, and Grand Champion.
Good lineup.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what the top five for each registry is. I don't really pay attention to the top five bullies. I know I probably should, but I really don't. I know that Vito and Hangman and Malacara. Oh, I don't know about Malacara. I know he was. I think he dropped because I'm going in the circuit right now. But Vito and Hangman, I know for a fact top five in BRC and ABKC. Vito's number one.
And then what's your one piece of advice you would give someone who is just starting to get into shows? Tiffany wants to know.
Go to a couple. Go like showing or just go to show.
I think wanting to start showing.
Go to a couple first and check them out before you really want to step into the ring. Go to a couple, and before the show starts, take your dog and go into the practice ring that they have, like show 2 before it starts, and get somebody to put your hand or their hands on your dog. That way your dog in that atmosphere and gets used to other people putting their hands on them and stuff before a judge does it. That way when you go in the ring, you're not just completely blindsided, you or your dog. Definitely go to a couple of shows and just spectate first.
And Lori wants to know what type of exercise and how much exercise do you recommend daily for your dog?
Depends on really how much your dog eats. Some people feed once or twice. If you feed once a day, you kind of got to judge that on how much your dog eats. We only feed once a day. And like I said, we go out there and we do 30-minute sessions, 20-minute sessions with our dog, but we also just let our dogs run out back. You know what I mean? We acclimate our dogs to this Florida heat. So our dogs spend at least 2 hours outside every day in the sun doing whatever a dog does. You know what I mean? So that's basically their exercise when we're not working is just them outside running around and playing. We have a couple snatch ropes that hang down. Well, we did. They're not here at this place, but snatch ropes, I really highly recommend, like ropes hanging from a tree or something. I think that credited Atlas's shoulder muscles and his neck, and Jackal's shoulder muscles and neck. I mean, genetics, if they're there, they're going to have it. But when a dog gets up there and puts all his weight on that rope, his neck to snatch his body up, that's building so much muscles. And also playing tug of war and stuff like that is great, great, great for like underbites and stuff like that. People want
Says, what do you do to break up a fight if it happens?
Well, I tell you, if my dogs, because it already happened, Atlas and Jackal have got into a little skirmish, you know what I mean? Luckily, both my dogs have really good recall. Before I even had a chance to step, it was over. It was done. But back in the day when I used to have dogs that were prone to do that more. I don't really know how to word that on here. I ain't trying to get us all banned. But back in the day, if the dogs wouldn't quit fighting, if the water hose didn't work, if a pry stick didn't work, stick your finger in the booty hole. Yeah, my wife just opened, stick your finger in the booty hole. If you reach back there and you pop that butthole, I promise you, they are going to let go of what they had.
You know Jameson was going to ask that question, man. Dude, wow. Man.
That's because Jameson already knew my answer to that.
Jameson's so nasty, y'all. Jameson Pearson.
I'm just gonna go on and send him a picture of my booty hole. Maybe he'll quit fucking.
I think that's what you want, bro. He's been throwing the hints, you know. Just y'all give in to it.
Oh Lord.
No, that's serious though. Man, that's serious. I have broke up, and I'm not exaggerating, well over 50 fights doing what I used to do. You know what I mean? I could probably say 100. I've never had the butthole trick fail. You know what I mean? Never had it fail.
So keep that in mind when you see him at a show and you go to shake his hand in the ring.
Touch you with my strong arm.
Little bee boop on the nose.
Does this smell infected? Okay, so well, Jeffrey, we're at the end of our interview. I don't see any more questions. Jeffrey is giving away one free banner. Does it matter what kind of banner, or is it going to be like a specific kind?
I ain't gonna limit them on what. If they win, they can get whatever banner they want: breeding banner, stud banner, dam banner. If they got a fun show banner they need done, whatever. I just can't do logos.
Okay, so I do have somebody that's going to do a logo, so we're good on that. I'm going to go ahead and spin this wheel. Let's see. All right, so here we go. Somebody is going to win. Make sure you reach out to Jeffrey. Jeffrey ain't got to chase y'all down. Y'all go to him. No, that's Corey. Yay, Corey.
In the fam, baby, in the fam.
Whatever you need one done, brother, you just let me know.
All right, so Corey won. All right, another thing that we are giving away is COI analysis. That's going to be given by Jerry. Is Jerry here? I haven't seen him.
He's got a lot going on. He's got them puppies.
Okay, so Jerry James is giving away another COI analysis. If you don't know what that is, go back to last month's podcast. You'll be able to watch that and see. He explained in 2 hours worth of detail what that is. So let's see who won that.
My boy Monroe.
All right, Monroe, I'm gonna put this up. All right, so Monroe, you're gonna look for Jerry James. Let me see which one of these is it. Is this one here? This one. That's what his profile looks like on Facebook. Okay, so Jerry James. You're gonna see his logo, which is this right here. Dubtown Bullies. That's him. So
Nice.
if you don't know who Jerry James is, go find him. He lives in Wagoner, Oklahoma. That's him. All right, so make sure you go hunt him down. Let him know that you won a COI analysis. All right. See, the next thing that we're giving away
Hey,
is
Jenna said that you can donate that stack. We got like 3 stack boxes. She said you can donate that one back if you'd like.
okay. So we have a stack box that we'll give away. Then I have it here. You got to pay shipping on that, guys. If you win it, you'll be paying the shipping on that. But I can ship from here, so it'll be a little cheaper. It'll be going to the post office. And let's see. Let's see. All right, here we go. Who's gonna win the stack box? That was donated by Belinda Peterson. She gave it to me when we went to a show. She's like, "Here, give us away one of your podcasts."
Chris York.
Nice.
Chris, are you still on here, Chris?
I'm from New York.
Corey, you won a banner from Jeffrey, so get with Jeffrey on that. So Chris, you got to hit me up and let me know your email address, shipping address, and I'll give you your total. You'll just have to cash at me what it would cost to ship it, okay? All right, let's see.
I want to say I saw him say he might be at the show in Troy or something.
Oh, okay.
I might be
All right, next, there is one logo we have somebody that makes logos. They hit me on Facebook and wanted to make me a logo. So I was like, how about making me a logo? And I'm donate one to the podcast. We should get you some business. So I'm going to show you guys this guy's profile. If you guys need a logo, hit him up. And then you can take it to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey can turn it into an animated logo for you guys, right? That'd be kind of cool. All right, let me look. It's on here somewhere. Hold on. That's our BWO.
That could be a motion banner too.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hold on. Let me find this guy's profile. I got it here somewhere. Here it is. All right. Nope, that's you. That's your camp. Maybe I didn't add it. Goodness gracious.
We're gonna get there eventually. Y'all just bear with us.
Yeah. All right. So just go with me. I'll send you his information. But his name is Michael. So Michael is donating a free logo. So if you don't already have a logo made or you want to get one made, that's what that's for. All right. So
Shoot, I wish I would have commented. I need a new logo made.
Right. Well, I'll hook you up with him. Just tell me you found him on the podcast. All right. So Andrea said she needed the logo made. There you go, Andrea. So Andrea, you won the logo. Get with me. Don't let me forget. So I can give you his information.
We appreciate all the donations to y'all. It really helps us out, and it really try to bring a crowd and reward the people who sit through and talk to us and participate. So big shout out to everybody who's donating. Appreciate it.
And then we have one more person that donated, which is Andrea, the one that just won the logo. So Dream Jewelry. She's Native American. My best friend. She makes her own jewelry and other things. Like she makes self-defense keychains. She makes little things like this. If you guys need one of these, she made me one that has my kennel book colors in it. And it says BWO Bullies, and you can just hang it from your dog's crate when you go to shows. And it looks really good too when you're putting your ribbons up there with it. It has your kennel logo on the little ornament that she's got. So she can make those for you. You can hit her up. She has a Facebook page. It's Dare to Dream Jewelry. Let me see which one of these. This is her Facebook page, Andrea Pohl. You can send her a message.
She's hugging that picture right there.
And she is who she is. Y'all don't forget it.
Yeah, she is. This is so this is what she's giving away, one of these here. If you want one made, if you don't win, just hit her up, okay? So we're gonna give away one of these.
Spin that wheel. This is my favorite part of the show.
I feel like Wheel of Fortune. Who's that? Skyla. Skyla, are you on here? So Skyla, you just won that. You have to get with Andrea and let her know what you want on yours. And then she also has this. She is she's raffling this off. And this is pretty cool. She handmade this. It took her a long time and a lot of beads. It cost a lot of money for her to make. It is a medallion on a necklace.
Oh, I want that.
For $10 a piece, you can get as many tickets as you want.
$10. Oh,
It's big. Yeah, it's big. So get with her. Huh?
She only charges $10 for that?
For the ticket. That she's raffling it.
Oh, how much is that?
So I don't. Andrea will have to tell you in the comments. Let me see if she's
Yeah, I just
commented.
wanted to make me one.
Yeah, for sure, dude. That's dope.
The beads. I can't tell you. She took a long time making it because she's very particular on how she does her stuff. She wants it to look good. So get with her. She'll make one for you. Yeah.
Me one made.
She said they're 300. I knew they were expensive. Okay, they're $300. That's why she's raffling the first one off. So, you want a chance on winning one, but yeah, she'll make you one. She says they're 300 because she not only beats the medallion, she does the necklace as well. So all that material, and she uses good beads. She doesn't
Hey,
just
post
use
a
it.
picture of that again, Lois, if you don't mind.
Say it again.
Can you put
Put
a
a
picture
picture
of
up?
it again?
Yeah.
Beyonce's wanting to look.
Yep. Okay, so this is. These pictures are really small. This is her profile, Andrea Poole.
All right.
And then this is her business right here, Dare to Dream Jewelry. And she has a page called Dare to Dream. And then this is the medallion.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
She did that out of beads. She's Native American.
Wow, that's really neat.
That's super dope.
Yep. And so, yep, that's what she's giving away. But I guess that's it. The only thing we got left to do is to find out who is going to be on our next
All right,
podcast.
let's see who was right.
Well, I was. So.
Yeah,
Oh.
so here we go. Who do you guys think it's going to be? Put in the comments who you think it's going to
I
be.
think it's going to be Emmy and I don't know how to pronounce. Is it Bry or Bry?
Bruh.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Emmy and Bry.
Heather says I have a stack box to donate. Can you donate on the next one? That way
Yes.
we have a stack box to win the next one. That's awesome. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Heather.
All right. So let's see who's going to be our next kennel.
Jared.
Ooh.
Mississippi Bully Combine.
Jared Harmon.
I don't even know if
That's an OG right there.
Yeah,
That's
he's one of the members, one of the first four.
Yeah. So you guys get ready to learn about who they are. I know they've been kind of sitting in the cut for a minute, letting everybody else shine. So you're going to learn a little bit about them, about where they come from, and what their kennel is about. So y'all get ready on that. Thank you guys all for coming in and hanging out with us. I appreciate every single person that was here. Thank you, Jeffrey, for hanging out with us and giving your input and expertise on the things that you do. We appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody that suffered through that. I know that it was a lot.
You have the date for the next show?
What?
Second Wednesday of every month, right?
Yeah, second Wednesday of every month. So the next podcast will be on August the 9th. August the 9th. So,
Sweet.
but I will forever remember the butthole trick.
I promise you, it's a good one. That might be the best information I said on the whole podcast. I'm telling you.
No, man, you dropped some good stuff, man. Appreciate you coming on, Jeffrey. Super glad to have you, lead the group down there for BWO. So, bro,
Make sure you guys are following. Yeah, follow Hard Knocks Bully Camp. He's already got 16,000 followers. Just let's make it 16,001. He's got a lot. Jeffrey Askew, that's his personal profile. Send him a friend request. If he approves you, then you're in there like somewhere. If you don't take it personal. And then we got our BWO page. We need to get the likes up. So even though you follow, which was 774 followers, we need you guys to go and like the page as well. So if you like the page but didn't follow, click them 3 dots and go into the menu and hit the follow button. So
interact with it. And interact with the page. Get on there and talk to us on the page. You know what I mean?
Share your own.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Oh, I got one more thing. I forgot. I have a BWO magnet to give away. Shoot, I forgot about that. Hold on. One more thing. Last thing. Of course, I have a freaking commercial break on my spin wheel. Yeah. All right, here we go. We got it. All right. So let me take off. When was it? Who was it that just won that? Oh, I guess I must have taken them off already. Okay, here we go. Spin. Here we go.
What's this for?
BWO magnet. Make sure you get with me because I have those too.
Lord. Nope.
No. Dan
said,
loves BWO, so he's gonna love that magnet. He's
That's
gonna
what's
rock.
up.
He's gonna rock that magnet everywhere he goes. Dan's
What's up?
awesome. I'm dying for a T-shirt. I need to
yeah,
get him one.
Dan's good people. I also handle for Dan too. He's got a good looking dog over there, Kemper, off of old Grand Champion J2. Y'all check
Yeah,
his channel out too, and check his studs out. He's old Kemper's a nice looking dog, and he's got him a nice looking stud coming up too. So
he's
y'all,
got a beefcake son.
yeah,
Yeah.
y'all should be checking out old Dan Glenn's page, anyways.
Yep. All right, Dan, get with me on this magnet. I could probably mail that to you in your package that you've got coming your way, anyways, with a Cuban. So, yep.
All right, y'all. Well,
All
I'm
right,
fixing to
y'all.
make like a baby and head out.
Yeah. So I'll see you later. Thanks, guys. Good
Peace.
night.